Okay. Everybody wake up. And Carlton is dead.
Okay, so obviously Carlton was reading Supertown.
Yeah.
Honestly, after he like waved off being like asked by anybody, he was like reading a little bit cop. Like when he was like when everyone was like, Carlton, what's up with you? And he was like, nah, I'm fine. I was like, I don't know if that's a cop move or not, but it seems cop.
I don't know if he's
Talk about
cop,
something real
but
quick.
he's pretty town because like he did that to see if who would like try to like push suspicion on him.
The reason why you would suggest that?
Where did? Oh, everything got rearranged. So I want to talk about ZNF for.
Yeah, sure, go for it. I'm right here.
So Eric has been putting a lot of heat on me, and I think that Eric is town, and he's just suspicious of me. He reads his town, and so I don't know why he keeps pushing on me. But at first, ZNF defended me, right? And then I came out, and I'm like, well, ZNF's been really quiet, and like whatever. And then when I noticed that, like when I was defending Storzerg, and I said that like his first half of his defense was kind of good. And then, like, it kind of went down. I immediately got a reaction out of ZNF of like, yeah, like agreeing with what I was saying. And then when Eric wanted to formal me again, like, and was saying things, like ZNF was like really agreeing with what he was saying. And I'm getting this read that ZNF is just like kind of bandwagoning a little bit.
I wanna clarify really quickly because I actually do this quite a bit, but just because I'm nodding doesn't mean I agree with what someone is saying. It means I'm kind of understanding what they're saying and I'm contemplating what they're saying. Like I don't take my nods just for straight up agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with your defense of Storzerg. I think his defense was weak, but I still thought he was town. But yeah, don't take my nods just as like I'm agreeing with everyone kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I think you might have also had like an affirmative, like said something like yeah or something when Eric.
Okay, well I remember doing that.
Kimball, what do you think of Richard?
God, he's a hard read. I think he was trying really hard early on, and a lot of people were like, yeah, like he's being town, like he's being pro town, and I almost wanted to flip it and say like, no, maybe he's being Mafia and just trying really hard to not be obvious. And then I haven't gotten a read on him for like the last 30 minutes.
What about Kiwi?
No, wait, I'm not done. What do you think of Sheth?
Oh, okay.
I'm suspicious of Sheth. I really didn't like how much he went after Kiwi over everyone else. He did bring up stuff on Jordan, and we got Jordan lynched. So,
Peter, how do you feel about?
What do you got?
Peter, how do you feel about Richard?
I want to say Richard's okay, but like I'm leaning more towards town than not Mafia right now. Well, last round I would have said that. Right now, who knows?
Look, I really hate this shift.
Can you talk a little bit about Sheth? And then we'll move on to other people. I'm sorry that I'm dominating.
You want me to talk about Sheth?
They know each other.
You want me to take about Sheth?
Yes, please.
Go for it.
That was really weird that he pointed out Richard the first day. And so I was trying to wonder if there was anything behind that.
He is the great deceiver.
I want to do a litmus test, actually. Yeah, this was something I didn't get to do last round because I was more content to let everyone talk around me. But okay, here it comes. Sheth, are you Mafia?
Oh my God!
Oh, not this again, please.
Let it happen, please.
Ryan, your mic.
Well, like anyway.
I didn't hear.
All right, so I just
like,
to go
like
off
the point.
Sorry,
like it is kind of pointless right now because like
was that it? That was your whole test? Are you Mafia?
No. Yeah, there's nothing to it because the only thing I want to know is like, well, it's not the right time and it's not the right place.
It works so much better in real life.
Can you talk a little bit, Peter, while we've got you, because you didn't talk a lot until the end of last round. Can you talk a little bit about ZNF? Do you have any reads?
Do I have any reads
before
him.
Peter continues
I
to
think
say
it's
something.
Why are we not talking about why Carlton's dead? That's what I'm concerned.
Yeah, I was
Talk about
gonna
that
bring
in a
that up
second.
too. Yeah.
Why are we not talking about like why Carlton's
We can do
dead?
that, but can
Hey,
we
can we have Richard talk since he's had his hand raised for a while? Thanks.
He's also been
All right.
sort of accused, so.
Yeah. So unctuous.
Carlton,
I'm
you're
just
dead.
kind of
So, Unctuous, I'm kind of curious why you like went after me and Sheth like right basically as we wake up. Like, what's your reasoning behind going after me?
I think I have decent reads on you two, and I want to see how other people. I like. We were at a point where I need to start getting my circles together, or else some shit's going down, and I'm not ready to lose. So
It seems pretty fierce, man. Pretty fierce.
it seems pretty fierce. It is pretty fierce. I'm embodying the spirit of America.
On topic, please.
Why are you getting
Can we go
nervous?
like yeah?
He looks like he's getting nervous, like he started to laugh just then. I think we should keep on this anxious.
Yeah.
No, I think I have pretty decent reads at this point, and I want to keep with them. Like,
Do you care to
honestly,
share them? Yeah.
I'm feeling Richard's pretty decently town is what I'm feeling, and I've been saying that since night one, and I want to keep saying that. Day one.
Wait, night one.
Eric,
He's
I think
fucking
we should go to
cracking.
Rob.
Look at him now.
Stand
He's-
up first.
Uh,
Yeah, Eric.
No, go ahead, Rob. You
Go
haven't
on,
talked.
Rob.
Yeah,
yeah,
Rob.
I tried to mention this when Peter was asked about Sheth, and I had my hand up since then. I don't want to. We can go back to whatever we're talking about later. But for Sheth, I was totally cool with him, like just randomly pinging out Rich. But I felt kind of weird after the first time attention got onto him. He said, "Oh, I kind of usually like come up with jokes to kind of like make it less serious." And then he made like the Sherlock, like, well, from watching Sherlock on TV, I
That
learned.
wasn't a joke. Like that.
No. He that was
So-
his
so-
suspicion
so
on
even-
me.
There were
So-
two different comments that Sheth made about that.
So
Go
to
on.
go even further down that, he was talking about the metaphor, like
Okay.
you saw someone acting serious, and then like the person who's trying to put on an act would act serious and then have a delayed reaction. And he tried tying that to Daniel, who had no reaction. It wasn't like Daniel was like serious and then started laughing, like he was talking about what happened in the show. It was he just didn't find it funny. And the
Wait,
fact he
who's-
tried. This is back at day one, but this is still something that
No. Who's
No,
Daniel?
that comment was about something else,
Daniel's
and he
Kiwi.
said that
Oh.
it
I'm
could
not
have been
talking
regard.
about the current, what the discussion's about. I'm talking about my suspicion on Sheth, not about what
Yeah.
the discussion was beforehand. So it's relevant because I'm talking about how I felt like he brought up the metaphor and it just didn't make that much sense to me. And it didn't apply to Daniel. He tried making that stick to Daniel, even though it didn't follow
Not
through at
really.
some
He
point.
said he said that maybe he has terrible sense of humor.
Right, but that not what the point he said was that someone will like, someone who's trying to put on an act will.
He was talking about me. Like either you're mischaracterizing it or you didn't hear it right, but it was
Maybe I didn't
based
hear it
upon my black hat joke.
No, maybe that was also almost an hour ago, so maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know if it wasn't necessarily based on you. It was based on your joke, and it was Kiwi's reaction.
Can we talk about Carlton? Fuck.
I do. I want to.
Yeah, I want
Let's talk about Carlton.
Oh,
Yeah,
talk about Carlton.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think he's a strong player. Him dying.
Okay, does anyone remember anything that Carlton pointed out?
Yes, he accused me.
Eric's had his
Jason
hand up.
formaled him, and Storzerg he had suspicion on.
Eric
so.
had his hand
Yeah,
up.
but he didn't vote on
Eric
you.
talked.
No, you didn't.
Eric.
I think this is a slam dunk right now, guys. Basically, how can I put this? Carlton was the only one to really agree with me on both Kimball and Storzerg. For them to kill me night one would have been.
Carlton never agreed
Let
with
me
you. He
finish,
said
let me
something.
Yeah, let Eric. I want to hear what Eric has to say.
Let Eric
Okay,
finish,
sorry.
and then we can.
He noticed your eyeball movement as well, just as I did. Now, it would have been a really obvious kill for you guys to kill me night one because I was coming so hard at you guys. But
I don't remember Carlton ever talking about eyeball movement.
He says just let Eric finish. Just let Eric finish.
Let
He's
him,
looking
let him
on
finish.
something.
Let him finish. Then we can
no,
pick it up.
he totally agreed with you when you brought it up. He said he didn't believe my accusations on Kimball in the beginning, but the more he saw his defense, he realized that it was weak, and he didn't notice the body language. Now,
Okay.
for them to kill.
No, I'm formaling you right now because you're putting
Yo,
words in his mouth.
can you like let Eric
No,
finish
I'm
first?
formaling him.
Oh my
No,
god!
let him finish.
Like
Well,
this only
okay,
makes you more
finish
suspicious.
while
Like,
being formal, I
just
guess.
let Eric finish.
Resend, please.
Fine, I'll rescind.
Can we all talk about Carlton first? Fucking A.
No,
Eric
no,
is
no.
talking about
Eric,
Carlton.
Eric is talking about
finish
it.
finish your statement.
Yes.
Everybody shut up.
Eric's point was talking about him.
I basically said that Carlton was pretty talented from the get-go, and I feel like that was noted by a lot of people. I feel like the fact that Kimball and Storzerg were both called out indirectly but safely by Carlton would give them a good kill on Carlton without coming off as very suspicious. Furthermore, with my accusations on both of them, a smart Mafia player could have killed me in the night and made it look like Kimball and Storzerg were not Mafia, or were Mafia to get them killed incorrectly. So I think that we have a pretty strong case against Kimball and Storzerg at this point.
I think one of the big things we need to remember from what Carlton has said or did say was his attack on Rybo, and that Rybo was latching on to people's comments and accusations and just furthering it along without adding much.
Can we look at what Carlton voted?
I haven't pointed out anything new, but I also pointed out that Storzerg would have fight King Hop. All I agreed upon was I asked Ryan for his 5-second read and then Sheth read on Richard, just to get the conversation started. So
Go,
I
Kimball.
understand, like I like pressure, and I totally agree with it, but I'm definitely town. So
Okay, so first of all, Carlton did not vote for Storzerg.
I did.
He did. You're right.
The only thing he said about me was that he said that I was smiling, and that like that's something that he's been suspicious of me before. But I do that, like I smile a lot. That's the only thing. He never said things like I agree with what you're saying or that like he supported. That's the only comment he made.
Eric, I'd just like to say that while I agree that Kimball is kind of suspicious, I just don't think there's a really good case for Storzerg, and I probably won't vote for him. I just want to say that.
I don't think that.
And as far as other people who I think are suspicious, I still think Peter's on my radar. And I know this is gonna sound suspicious because Unctious has pointed me out, but I mean, I'm kind of suspicious of Unctious also.
I
For no other
100%
reason
agree.
I'm really suspicious of Unctious as well, and I'm not trying to piggyback on anybody, but he randomly called out me earlier. Carlton would be a good kill. He didn't call out Unctious. He called out me, Storzerg, and Jason apparently, right? There's no like benefit of them killing it.
Oh, hold up, Neil's not here.
Oh, what the fuck?
Let's hear what Ryan has to say. and then-
Rybo.
Yeah,
You
Ryan.
said something very dangerous. You said and Jason apparently.
Hold on, Kiwi had his hand up. I want to.
We are arguing with Eric. I don't know if.
Right.
Kiwi said he
Hear
wants
what
the
Kiwi's
formal.
Recirculating this thing about me and like
I'm saying that I feel like you're safe, and so is Bob. So
yeah, you were like one of the few people that he put pressure on at the end.
Neil, you missed a formal on Unctious.
Okay, formal on.
Wait, no. Can I hear what Kiwi wanted to say?
Defense?
That's what I said. Like, ZNF was talking about Unctious. I thought Unctious was, like, hella suspicious how he came out of the gates. And then when we started to talk to him, he was getting nervous as fuck. And Rybo just now was, like, Unctious as well. Like, we can't be like, all of us noticed it together. That was some shit going down. I think Unctious is Mafia.
Hey, Unctious, I got a comment for you.
I would love to hear it.
Or I have a question for you about a comment that you made.
Ryan.
I don't know who made the comment, but someone made a comment about Tank wanting to lynch him or something, and you said he's been playing town as fuck, or he is town as fuck, or something.
Those are exactly the words that came out of my mouth.
Yeah. I want to know more about that. Your thought on that, on Tank.
Well, I'm super suspicious of you. I do not believe that you are playing the way Storzerg plays. And I've been noticing some connections that I'm not exactly comfortable with other players that I don't exactly feel comfortable with talking about right now. But what I do notice is that Tank has been on top of shit. He's been playing the way Tank plays. He calls out reads super, like his reads are usually top notch. And right now, he's been doing just that. Like he is playing more Tank than he has ever played before, even when he's like playing Tank. I don't know how else to describe it. Like Tank is so far on my town list based on who he's been supporting and who he's been lynching that I'm behind him 100%. I'm super suspicious of you. And that's why I voted for you right off the bat, because I don't think that you're playing the way Storzerg plays, and that bothers me.
This is on my safe list for right now.
Ryan, what do we have on circles? This is really bothering me.
With
Guys,
Unctious?
Is there the formal on Unctious still?
Yeah. Still my life.
I couldn't hear like anything about like the last 30 seconds of what you were talking about, Unctious. I couldn't hear any of that. It was lagging.
You're lagging, Bob.
Alan, you're breathing into your mic. Can you fix that?
Who is?
Alan.
Oh.
Can you try again?
Nothing here.
What up, Sheth?
Alright, so
I'm lagging. If you guys don't mind, I'd like.
And he's gone.
He'll be back. It was like he knows he's disconnected.
So Unctious, throughout day one, I made a couple of calls. I talked a little bit about Richard, about Jordan, and one other person, Kiwi. And throughout, like whenever we went to the vote phase, you always kind of voted and did what I did, or whenever when we were talking about it, you kind of agreed with me, or at least I felt that what you were saying made a lot of sense. And I felt like you didn't disagree with me, or I didn't hear any point where you were like actively against me. But now, right that day 2 has started, you right away just like randomly were like, Sheth, you're really suspicious. And that was what kind of bothered me. So I wanted to know why you felt that way.
I didn't say Sheth was suspicious. I said, hey,
he
Kimball,
asked for opinions.
and what do you think of Rich? And what do you think of Sheth? And then I asked Peter, hey, what do you think of Richard? What do you think of Sheth?
I thought I heard something like Sheth's really suspicious to me.
No, he didn't.
It's not what I said.
Okay.
I want to ask what Rob feels because I actually forgot he's in the game. I just noticed his picture's still there. So I mean, he's been quiet as hell.
I talked a little bit earlier about Sheth, and I mean my feelings right now of the game in general.
He has a formal on Anxious, so presumably.
Right, that's what I'm saying is that there's been a lot of this stuff in between. I can't. Is the formal rescinded, or are we gonna?
There's no formal rescinded yet.
Right.
Okay,
so
I want to talk about Anxious then.
So I mean, if you want to ask my feelings about Unctious, I think he's doing the way he always plays. He plays consistently, whether he's Mafia or if he's Town. I think he kind of like he picks people on gut he feels are good or bad players. From there, he kind of extrapolates off that and does more of guessing. It's really what he does. Like he just has that style and flow about him. I don't have a reason to think he's Town or Mafia. I'm reluctant to vote for him though. I would love to talk more about other people, but it's on Unctious.
Unctious, did you ever get your formal defense?
He never.
I've been talking.
But give yourself a formal defense, please.
My formal defense is that I think I have super good reads on people as it stands right now. I think I've been playing super Town up until this point, and I think that's worth keeping me around. I think there's people who've been playing super Mafia that we need to take a look at.
I think that you should give us those people before we vote on
let's give us their top Mafia, top Town reads.
I think Sheth is super Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ryan's been playing a standard Ryan quiet, and I'm not comfortable with that. I think I trust Kimball more than I trust Peter.
Okay.
I think Eric is actually super Town right now. I'm not super suspicious.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think, but Tank is like
Kiwi just
on.
dropped, by the way. Kiwi just dropped.
Tank is like also on my super Town list so far. I think he's been playing super Town. He like if I had a circle of trust, in the words of fucking Bregor, Tank would be in my circle of trust. Rybo, I'm a little bit still suspicious of, and I don't feel at all comfortable with Storzerg. I've become more comfortable with ZNF since.
Can you characterize your Mafia read on Sheth?
Yeah, sure. He's been super quiet, and he's been kind of joking things off to get the pressure off of him when there's pressure on him.
I've done neither of those things.
I got something to say after
one
this is
joke
done.
I've said.
No. I don't want it based on jokes. I want it based upon like his actions in game.
Please,
he doesn't have actions in game.
No, but that actions in game is a joke. He said himself. I'm not saying like obviously what I interpreted as a joke was not apparently a joke, even though I took it as that.
Yeah,
There's still the fact, right? And that's fine. But the fact that he said Sheth himself said, "I joke when I am Mafia."
Yeah,
his jokes are part of a defense of why you think he is Mafia.
Yeah, he does though. No,
that is a valid point.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I've actually been Mafia with Sheth once, and he's actually super giddy and like super funny. Like he smiles and he like, I don't know, he just laughs and jokes around all day when he's Mafia. Well, I mean that was the one time I played Mafia with him, so I don't know. I mean there's some credence to that. Maybe he knows that. Maybe he's just maybe he's just trying to cover it up. I mean, everyone here seems to think Sheth is really good, so I'd imagine he'd mix it up a lot, but. I just wanted to
Alan, give us your reason to kill Unctious since you want to kill him every game.
Wait. First of all, I didn't want to kill him last game.
He doesn't want to kill me every game.
Right?
Even when I accuse him, he says I'm Town.
But right now, I really don't like Unctious because normally, even like jokingly, he would want to kill me. So it feels like he's not as jokingly, like he's not like having as much fun as usual. And right now, he's like trying to.
I think there's just more important people that we need to kill.
I feel like you're trying to squeeze your way out. Like that's my like feel right now.
The fact that I did recently just ask you if you said I was suspicious, and you're like, "No, I don't think you're suspicious," and then instantly.
I didn't say I didn't think you were suspicious. I said I didn't say you were suspicious. No,
for sure said it.
I said I didn't say you were suspicious.
Okay, we'll
fucking
agree
use
to
your
disagree.
ears, Chef.
We'll agree to
I just want to point out that I was paying real close attention when he was
Can
doing
we,
that, 'cause he was also saying me, and he
Okay.
didn't say that to you, Sheth.
Can we get
All right,
Dr.
Unctious,
Kimball to
have
talk?
you actually had your formal defense now?
I've been talking, and if people want to lynch me right now, I can't imagine.
Okay, does anyone else have anything specifically for or against Unctious?
Do not vote
I'm
on.
not going to vote for Unctious.
Do not vote
Kimball,
on.
Kimball, everyone else shut up.
I'm not gonna.
You're gonna have to tell me if I can do this, Mod. But Eric just said it now and said it before that like Unctuous is fine. I'd like to hear his reason why, because he seems to be strongly convinced he's Town.
I usually have pretty good reads on Unctuous, and he's reading really Town to me right now.
Can you expand on that?
I can't.
Really. I can't. It's just a really good gut feeling. I'm sorry. More. I've liked his arguments, and I don't think that he's a smart lynch at this point. I'm not saying that I'm 100% sure he's Town, but I don't think he's a smart lynch. That's a bad lynch.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else to say for or against Unctuous?
I have a question.
Before I had to drop out when he was in the middle of his defense, he was talking about Tank and myself, saying that Tank was playing really Tank, or whatnot, and Storzerg wasn't playing Storzerg-like or as much as Storzerg or as much Storzerg. I really dislike that kind of defense. That's just my statement. Tank.
I have a question. Why are you still suspicious of Storzerg?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Storzerg isn't playing his methodical style that he's used to. And although, and I mentioned this earlier, right? I said to him, I said in his defense earlier that he had told me, he was trying to move away from that style a little bit, but he started to adopt it at the beginning, and then he dropped it off super quick. And also, as I mentioned, as has become clear, even though I didn't say it in perfect words earlier, I never said that I was suspicious of Sheth, but it seemed like Storzerg wasn't totally. He wasn't. Yeah, I think that I don't believe that he's been as suspicious of Sheth as I have been, and I don't think that I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
I have something to say about
Kimball. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Can I say?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, so at the beginning of the round, you came out with like, Kimball, Peter, what are your reads on these two people? And I was expecting you to like, after we had a thing, to drop some knowledge bombs. Like, okay, you're cop, you're coming out, like these are Mafia, and because of the reads that you got from me and Peter, you can clear me, you can whatever. That didn't happen at all. And I thought it was like really, really, really weird that nothing came of it. And I gave it a little time for it to come back around to you, and it didn't. And so that bothers me. That you came out with this strong play at the beginning, and it didn't. And then when I questioned you on it, it's like, oh, I think Storzerg's probably Town. That was like the big thing that came out of all that. After we had voted him not Mafia like the previous round, like, I don't know. It just seemed really kind of weird.
I just want to say, if this vote fails, I want to have the floor as soon as the vote's done.
Okay, guys, so I missed out a bit. What's the general vibe? Is there a push to rescind, or are we going through and killing Mafia? Fine.
I mean, I guess we should just vote.
There's not a consensus.
Okay.
There's not a consensus.
You know who are worried about me?
Does anyone have anything to say for or against?
I'm not voting for Unctuous, and I know who I'm in a formal after Ryan's done speaking. I know who I'm in a formal after.
Wait, I want to
Hold
talk
on,
after
everyone,
Ryan's
I
done
can't hear.
speaking.
ZNF, what are you trying to say?
I just said I'm not going to vote for Unctuous, and I know who I'm formaling after.
Okay.
After
Someone
the
called
vote is
my
done,
name?
if it fails.
Why are
said
you
Neil
not?
something.
Why
I
are you
wonder-
not voting for
I don't
Unctuous?
understand why we don't rescind and hear what Ryan
because-
and ZNF have to say
well,
before voting on
That's why
Unctuous.
I'm asking.
Okay. The reason why I'm not voting for Unctuous is I really believe. I mean, I liked his defense first of all, and I think Eric is Town, and I'm not very good at reading any of you guys yet, since I don't know you guys, and since I trust Eric. I mean, the best thing I have to go off of is his read on Unctuous, which I think is reliable considering the last few weeks. I don't think all of Unctious's reads are 100% reliable, but I do trust Eric at this point. And
I think Unctuous is wrong on
You
Sheth.
said that you would formal somebody immediately after.
Yeah.
I think there's two important things to know. I heard a little bit of
Just
Eric's
rescind, dude.
stuff. Yeah, maybe.
Are you
I trust that Eric's down, but I don't think we should necessarily agree with his reads.
Right.
But if people want me to rescind, then I'll rescind. So
Just because that's
You
where
should
everyone's going.
rescind.
Everyone's already
I need to hear Ryan, and I need to hear.
And Ryan wants to
ZNF.
say something, so
I
I
wanna
want to
talk
talk
after
what he
Ryan.
wants to say.
Okay, hold on. Who has the... No, you rescind.
Sure.
Kiwi, you had the formal?
I rescind.
Okay, you had the formal,
rescind.
you rescinded. Thank you. Just trying to get that clear.
Okay. So what I want to talk about, usually I'm talking about, facial expressions, whatever. What I want to talk about is something a little bit more concrete this time. And it really doesn't necessarily have to do with how they've been voting, or how they've been playing as town, but it does have to do with the circles that I've noticed and how voting patterns have been going down. So early in the game, I started talking about the connections that I've seen with Richard. So there's that one little group of like Richard and Jordan and some other people, and then there's another kind of group that's sort of been forming between Storzerg and Kimball and etc. So when I looked at the votes early on in the game, Storzerg had 5 people vote for him: myself, Richard, Tank, Alan, Eric, and then there was votes on Kiwi, who are not really. Kiwi and Store aren't really in the same. So there's Sheth, Tank, Rybo, and Unctious. And then with the Jordan vote, pretty much everybody voted. So the one person who voted every single time in round 1, even though all the people weren't in the same circle, is Tank. He's voted every single time for every person, regardless of if they were in the same circle or not. So he, like Unctious was saying, he likes his voting pattern. His voting pattern is to just kill. And so, like, I don't like Tank right now.
I don't think I said shit about voting pattern.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't.
That's
like
a
Number one, I
really
voted.
good point, Ryan.
Let me put it this way. Number one, I voted against Storzerg because I did not like his defense. However, I've since changed my views on Storzerg based upon Carlton's non-vote. Number 2, the second one was it?
Kiwi.
I did not like.
There were like 2 or 3 people that voted for Kiwi, right? It was a really.
I voted for 5. It was like 4.
There's 5 on Store, 4 on
me, Unctious.
In the last 2 votes, it was getting to a point where we needed to kill someone. And it was going to a calculation as to who was participating. And at that point, I was liking Sheth's explanation as to why we should kill both of those players. 1 vote failed, the last one didn't.
Just in his defense, Ryan, I was this close to voting for Kiwi. That would have put me in all 3. So,
Eric, you're like really talented. Your reads suck.
I understand we're getting on Tank. I also don't want to let Unctious slide because he just mentioned in the prior day, like, if I'm Mafia, then I'm going to be super hard on one of my Mafia brothers and not so hard. And the people that he's pointed out is Sheth and Tank. So,
do we have a formal on anyone?
Oh, the formal got rescinded.
I can see the Tank. You see what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Former
Peter.
I was going to go back to that about what Kimbo was saying, but yeah, go.
Wait, before.
Okay. I mean, do you want to say anything before that?
Well, like before you formal him, can I just like?
Yeah, go.
All right. All right. So when Eric and Kimball were like going at each other, like Kimball, you like snap formaled Eric, and like I never really heard what the reasoning was. Like, I just want to hear more about that.
Oh, he was like, so he's been like on me pretty hard, and I feel like he's been the one circulating, and like, so other people are saying, oh, people have been suspicious of Kimball, and it's Eric that's been propagating this, right? So I'm getting really defensive about how Eric is posturing around me. When he was talking about Carlton, he was saying several things that he did not say, and so I formaled him because I wanted to talk about that like right away.
Okay, yeah, but you were
before we formal Peter, I want to hear Sheth.
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
Well,
so there's a few main reasons why I'm formaling Peter. The first one is I've been suspicious of him since day 1, especially when specifically when I was talking about his facial expressions. The second reason is that I've actually brought up Peter quite a few times, maybe 3-4 times since day 1, and no one has ever followed up with that, which suggests to me that like either people are kind of brushing it off, or like the fact that everyone's been focusing on other people. But I think Peter's trying really hard to slip under the radar, because if I've mentioned him 3 or 4 times, I'd expect him to kind of respond by now. And the third reason is that Peter's actually the one person that hasn't said anything since this game started. Like, I've asked Rob to speak. Like, Richard has spoken up, Tank has spoken up. Everyone who's been brought up has spoken at least once. Peter's the only person that hasn't spoken once in this entire game, and that's suspicious as hell. That's why I'm formaling him.
Peter, time to talk.
Okay. 1, that's not true. 2, I'm at a loss to actually what to do in this game. What it seems to me like, I said earlier on day 1 that I had some like ideas about how day 2 would unfold, and like they didn't unfold at all. Obviously, one of the best ways for Mafia to play in this game, or the best way for Mafia to play in this game, is just to deny town information. And it seems like we're being denied information. Like one of the ways Mafia can do that is just to introduce a bunch of like random, inconsistent information. So like, like day 2 cop claims, like 3 cop claims, like sacrifice one of your own. Like that was actually the play I was trying to think. That was one of the plays I was thinking of before this game started, like if I got Mafia. But no, it's not happening that way. So basically what I'm noticing is that there are a bunch of like disjoint circles, and they don't trust each other at all. And like trying to observe
with 1 hour days.
Right, well, like trying to observe this, it doesn't bode well for town at all. So what we need to do, I think, is we need to, and I'm just working this out as I'm speaking. I think what we need to do is we need to just trust someone and go with one of the lynches. So far, like,
well, who do we trust? Do you think?
If it's a bunch of disjoint circles, then how do you find one person to trust that everyone's going to follow?
Yeah,
maybe not one person to trust.
There's like one more thing, because there's one more thing I forgot to mention that makes that, like, I guess more coherent, is that we still have a lot of people, because 1 kill power, like the days are going by incredibly slowly. I expected day 1 to be over like pretty quickly. Like this is day 2, right? So like there's like obviously my hope at this point is for the cop to have made 3 checks to be alive tomorrow, right? And then we can form something, right? I've thought about certain possibilities. Like I actually really want to believe Eric and Unctuous right now. Like they're more town in my book right now than not. I think, like, I want to say Richard is town too. And that's just basically like Richard being Richard. But like honestly, like if my circle of trust is only 3 people, if your guy's circle of trust, like like everyone else is thinking, oh, I only like this person, I only, these 2 or 3 other people, then we're not, like, even though we have like a huge, like we have a lead, but we don't, like we're going to lose it. So like I honestly think we should just pick someone and go with it.
And that's why I'm picking.
It should not be me.
Okay.
I actually like that defense, man.
Kind of trust Peter, dude.
I kind of do too, but
I really like it actually.
Eric is in relation to Peter.
Why is it formal on him?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I think you should rescind it. Honestly, good defense.
I would not vote for Peter.
Like honestly, I could have said more probably earlier on, but like
when Peter's Mafia, his defense is definitely not like this.
Yep.
Okay.
I've noticed that like Peter says like every time he's Mafia.
Is there a formal
and
Peter
he just
still?
says it a lot.
It's been
He didn't say it
rescinded.
that much.
I'll rescind.
Okay, I want to talk about Rybo.
We're at the 35-minute mark, guys. I'd hope not to have a 2-hour day 1 and 2.
Yeah. So I want to suggest Rybo as one of these possible just lynchermen. He doesn't have a lot of support, I think, from other people. Carlton did call him out, and Carlton was one of the few people, you guys have to refresh me if anyone else did, that called him out at the end of the last round.
And he did so strongly.
Hence why I wouldn't kill Carlton.
Yeah, but you can argue meta all day. It doesn't matter.
Fine.
So that makes me suspicious. You haven't been talking a lot, and I don't know that you have a lot of connection with other people, which makes me feel like you're playing very much like a Lone Ranger.
Actually, I believe Ryan, and I really think that Storsberg is town, and I believe Tank. So I'm not sure if anybody else is as lost as I am currently.
I think we all feel that way.
We all kind of just
I think
frazzled.
that people are throwing accusations out at people, and there's no meat behind it other than the fact that you're quiet, and that's not a good accusation. I have 0 circles. The only people that I currently trust right now, I thought Ryan brought up a good point at Tank, but I also have a vibe from Tank that he's town. So it's like
I don't
have any hard evidence to go on anybody.
Eric was gonna say something.
I don't have any hard evidence to give it on anybody, and I don't want to just throw people under the bus and make a bad lynch. So
I just want to clarify. I didn't mean circles of people who you trust. I mean, I don't think you're in any other people's circles.
Right. Okay. So you're saying that I'm a good lynch on day 2.
He's saying if we don't have any other choice, you're the best one because no one thinks you're safe.
And because Carlton pointed you out. And Carlton died.
Eric, let's go.
Eric and then Kiwi.
First of all, I think Ribo's fairly safe at this point, just from what I've gathered so far in this game. I wanted to ask Kimball something real quick. When Peter was talking about how he hoped that the cop would have 3 checks by now, you wrote something down. What did you write down on your computer?
2 checks. He had 3 checks by tomorrow.
By tomorrow.
3 checks by tomorrow. 2 checks currently.
Yeah. What did you write down?
I didn't. I was talking to something Carlton said. I said he.
Bro, love
Like, I mean, not to just piggyback on like Jason's attacking people, but you have been attacking people quite a bit. So I don't understand how he's sliding under the radar. I think, like I said, I think that he's town day 1, but like his accusation of me and then Eric and then Carlton, who I have also really strong town reads on, makes me a little suspicious of him.
I'm cool with Alan or Kimball or Sheth. Those are my 3. I will
Why are
vote
you
for anyone
always
of them.
on me? You bastard.
I will for anyone.
Kimball's been throwing out accusations about people with no real meat behind them just because they're quiet.
Accuse Carlton.
Didn't you formal him at day 1?
Talk, yeah.
Formal make him talk because his response was no comment. Right.
Yeah, that was enough.
Unctuous. I agree with you on Alan.
Unctuous, are you suddenly pointing on me because earlier I said you were suspicious because you're not your usual playful self?
No, I'm just tired of you not saying anything ever.
Can we hear from Kiwi?
But that's more.
Yeah, Kiwi had his hand up.
It's a formal on Alan though, right?
No, I didn't formally.
I thought that was okay. Sorry.
I would be comfortable voting for Alan, Sheth, or Kimball. Those are the 3 people I'm comfortable voting for right now over everybody else.
I think right now my
Whoa, no.
We're having Kiwi talk.
Kiwi.
Let Eric say his thing. I'll hear it.
No.
Kiwi
You've
talk.
been waiting for like an hour.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been that long.
Talk.
I just want to point out that what Ryan said made a hell of a lot of sense and was backed up by solid evidence. And I haven't heard anything else remotely as good in day 1 or day 2. Why are we
Can you give
ignoring?
some points on those?
The tank.
I'm going to go over it again.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
I thought Tank was.
when I first, I said that this didn't have to do with if we think they're playing town or think they're playing Mafia. It's only going off of basically facts and circles. So early on, we had 2 like main circles forming kind of around like Richard, Jordan, and should I have so much written down? Anyway, one more, and then there was another one with Kimball and Storzerg kind of forming. And then I turned over and I looked to the votes. So in the votes, 5 people voted for Storzerg. Tank was one of those. 4 people voted for Kiwi. Tank was also one of those. And then a bunch of people voted for Jordan. Tank was the only person in the town who voted for everyone to die, basically. And throughout all of that, those people are all in different circles. So his voting pattern, it doesn't make sense. He doesn't go for one circle or another.
It makes sense in that I'm going off of what people are saying, what I feel people are saying, what they aren't saying. Why what they are saying is inconsistent. You are looking at, oh, maybe he's in a group, maybe he's not in a group, and he just happened to vote. I voted because I found stuff that was inconsistent. Everyone else's vote was based upon, oh, I played with this guy before. I don't think so.
Right,
I
so
went off of what I had heard in round and voted why.
So you think that all Storzerg, Kiwi, and Jordan are all inconsistent and all Mafia?
They were all inconsistent. And in day 1, it is a process of determining who is safest to kill.
Yeah, I agree.
I was Kiwi.
Yeah, but that's
I think Tank's opinion on some people has changed, though.
Yeah, but I think that's inconsistent with what he said previously.
I want to defend Tank on that one more time. I almost voted for Kiwi. I have him on the fence. I don't think he's Mafia right now. I'm sort of starting to believe him more and more. But all 3 of those were pretty safe lynches. So I don't think we can draw a conclusion based on him voting for 3
those weren't safe lynches because we got 5 out of 15, then 4 out of 15. Those were very.
It's not my
unsafe
fault
lynches.
if you're indecisive and can't make up your decisions.
You're talking to the town as a whole, not me.
Like,
You're saying that the town is indecisive and can't make up their.
You are indecisive.
All right, 41
Day
minutes
one
into
lasted
day
how
number
long?
2. Do you guys have any formals?
Day 2 is lasting how long?
Yeah,
I
41
don't.
minutes into day number 2.
I'll
Do we have
put
any
a formal on
formals?
Alan.
Formal on
if you're
Alan.
gonna do that, I mean,
Let's
you
bring a swing
you
before
can't-
real quick.
Guys, oh my god. It's
Guys,
just
let Alan give himself a defense.
All right, can I hear
Can
the
I say
reason
something
first?
before that? I've had my
No.
hand up for a while.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, Sheth.
That's fine.
Yeah,
We
Sheth, go
can
ahead.
talk, and then the formal's going.
Oh, it's Unctuous. You said something that Ryan was being really quiet and it seemed suspicious to you, and no one had brought it up. I feel like Ryan's been playing this really, really suspiciously, and what he brought up was just a fact. He didn't put any conclusion behind it. He didn't try and pressure it. Kiwi had to bring it up and kind of like force it. I don't like how Ryan's playing. He's really suspicious to me, and I feel like I'd like to discuss it. But we have a formal on Alan, so let's get that out of the way.
Okay, can I hear the accusation?
Yeah. All right. I don't think you've been doing a good job with town. I think you've been pretty quiet. Unctuous actually said he'd be okay with lynching you, and that's actually a reason why I'm okay with lynching you as well, because you fit in one of the groups that I'd be okay with lynching, and you overlapped, and it seems like Unctuous and Eric, and I guess possibly Tank are kind of in one little circle and whatnot. And yeah, I think you're going to be a person that we can all agree to lynch, because I don't think you're going to be any benefit to the town later on.
I feel like what Sheth just said has a lot of merit.
I
Can I talk
agree
and then
with
we'll
that,
come back
though.
to this? Like,
Okay, go ahead.
I feel that the only reason why Unctuous brought me up is because earlier, when we were going around and he gave his top Mafia and top town reads, like I wasn't a part of that, and usually he would like try to accuse me, but then immediately after he was done, I said that, oh, it's like really suspicious that you wouldn't do that, because normally, that, you know, whether you're being playful or you're actually like seriously think I'm Mafia, like you would bring me up. Like to omit me is very suspicious. And then later he suddenly comes back out of nowhere to say
I think when I came back, I said that I thought that I wanted to exchange one of my votes for Ryan. When I was asked for two Mafia and 2 town, I wanted to exchange one of my votes for Rybo, not Ryan.
Me,
Rybo.
not Ryan.
Yeah.
All right, anyway,
And Alan's, yeah. Were you done? Because I was going to
no,
defend you.
I have a little bit. I feel that ever since like a few minutes ago when you were, bringing me up, I feel that Storzerg is totally like doing that grasping thing from the last round, because it wasn't really like what I said made sense, and that he didn't even recognize the fact that I pointed out that Unctuous was not being his usual self, and that he's like totally just grasping at it and trying to throw
Or
the
I can
blame
have
on
a
me.
different opinion than you. I mean,
That's
that
true.
happens sometimes.
Yeah, but then you can also respect my logic. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Eric?
But I
In
didn't
Alan's
comment
defense,
on that.
I noticed exactly what he said. Storzerg, anytime there's a gap in conversation, he just jumps and tries to lynch somebody that is quiet to get attention off himself, because his name has been mentioned a few times. And every time it does, when there's a break in conversation, he says, oh, I want to lynch some random person that we haven't even been talking about.
Let me mention too that he made this an issue just as Chef put out something very important.
He
Well, I made it an issue, and then Sheth had a comment, and I allowed Sheth to talk before.
Are you willing to rescind this to let that play out?
I would love
Actually,
to talk
yes,
about
because
myself.
I do agree with Sheth's comment on Ryan, and it does fit with day one on how I feel that Ryan would have not voted for me, but that's kind of not an issue right now. But yeah, I can rescind. Yeah, I'll rescind.
Okay.
Go,
so, Sheth, do you want to start, and then I'll rebuttal?
All right. I hate people who use the term meta, so I won't use it. But in this game that we've played so far, the first day you've been really quiet. You haven't contributed that much for being a veteran player who has tremendous knowledge for the game. You wrote a lot of things down. And even when you were saying what you wrote down, you actually only named 2 of the 3 people on a vote one time, and you're just like, I wrote too much, and that made no sense to me. That was like a small thing that annoyed me. Primarily, you haven't actually said you're wanting to vote someone off or not. You've been really, really like unwilling to put your opinions on people out there, and that's made me kind of worried about that. And then here with this whole tank thing, I don't find it that relevant, because first day and I guess I see all information is relevant, so I take that back. But it's looked fishy to me. Whatever I said initially applies true as well. This is what I'm coming up with right now.
Sure. Yeah, I think.
Can I rebuttal?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So first of all, I'll show you what I've written. My writing is chicken scratch. I know you can't. My writing is literally it's shit. It's really hard for me to read it, and I was just trying to keep some kind of like cadence going along with what I was saying. Who was in the distinct circles to me wasn't important. Just the fact that he was voting into different circles was the big thing that I was getting at. So that's why I just kind of skipped over the third person in the circle.
And yet you'd never formally, even though you are implying I am Mafia, even though I'm characterizing the way I've played as Town.
I absolutely,
again and again.
Yeah, no, I absolutely would like to kill you. Just anyway. So the second
you
thing
just don't want to do it yourself.
Situation where that makes sense.
No. I definitely want to. I don't like formaling people in the first maybe like 5 minutes of a round.
We're way past the first 5 minutes.
Oh no, I agree. But when I came out with that stuff about you in the beginning, it was in the first couple of minutes.
No. We are talking about your little diagram that you made in this day.
I know.
Not about your initial.
I'm saying the thing that I said about you was early, and then a bunch of stuff happened, and then Kiwi brought it back up like 20 minutes.
No. I'm not caring about the whole camera placement thing. I'm talking about your smoke screen.
No one's talking about the camera.
Nobody's talking about that.
Camera.
What are you talking
Your
about?
mic back a little bit, Tank. It's a little bit loud.
Yeah, I just want to put it out there while I was doing that. I think it's more damning for someone to be on the fence and not like completely committed to something as opposed to like being committed, right? I think it's much more suspicious if you just say like, I'm kind of, but not really, but here's some information that's kind of important.
Did I ever waive? The only thing that I didn't do was formal him, but I was very clear about whether I thought he was Mafia or not. There was no wavering or on
So
the
why
fence
didn't
about
you
him.
formal? You're
that's
insinuating
what
and
I'm
making
Nobody's saying that
think.
he didn't have the time to because there was
Yes,
other
he
discussions
did.
going on.
He just says formal me, and he.
No. Okay, so I brought up the knowledge in the early parts of the round, and then a bunch of talking and formaling happened, and then Kiwi brought it back up, and I wanted to formal, and then like 2 other formals happened.
No. When you are presenting your evidence and you are insinuating that someone is Mafia, you immediately formal them.
Is there? It was like so early on in the day that he
That
didn't
may
want
be
to.
how you play.
Guys,
That may be how you play.
I'm so done with day 2. Let me tell you how done with day 2 I am. I am like Kayla done with day 2. Here's what's blowing my fucking mind. Here's what's blowing my mind. Rob hasn't said shit in like a half hour. Kimball hasn't said shit in a half hour since I asked him a question about what was going on. Peter hasn't really said that much at all either. There's a lot of people staying quiet. There's like 4 people leading conversation. Let's fucking kill somebody. I'm formaling Sheth. He is going to be he has not been playing Town. He has not been playing Town. I'm calling out Sheth.
I don't like that.
Okay, no.
Oh my god, I hate
His
everyone.
comment-
I'm fucking cop.
I was following your lot.
Wait, he just said he's
Shut up.
I checked Rich first round. That's why when he was formal last minute, I said, "Yo, this kid's safe." I for all intents and purposes deflected off of Rich. Okay. The second night, I checked Sheth because he was suspicious as fuck and he was quiet, and I'm tired of quiet people. We need to kill Sheth. I'm done with day 2.
This is completely wrong. Like, is there Miller in this?
No, there's no Miller.
No.
That's why you're going to die.
Then you're fake cop. 100% sure. Like I'm not Mafia. I'm really not. Like,
guys,
seriously, he's fake cop. 100,000%.
I want to
the real
put
cop
this.
come out for this.
1 second, guys. Hold on. No, Eric, be quiet, please.
if there is one.
No. Okay. Is there a formal on anyone right now?
I formaled Sheth.
Okay, I just want to be clear. There is a formal on Sheth, so let's talk about that. Go for it.
All right, so in my defense, I'm 100% Town. I'm not Mafia. I haven't been typing in Mafia chat. Like that doesn't. I can't prove that to you. But like I'm not. Like the last
no
time
Mafia chat during day.
I was even, and I didn't get like this angry about it. But this is a complete lie. Like you're 100% fake cop, guys. Like Town. Look at Unctuous. Like you may want to kill me because he's cop and no one else came out. So odds are he's right, but he's completely wrong. He is 100,000% Mafia. I don't even know what to say.
You know how many times more than 100% that is?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So many times.
1,000 times.
Like I'm trying to think of a better situation, like to explain this to you. But he's for sure Mafia, and I'm for sure Town, for sure.
Question for you.
Anxious.
I have a question for you, Anxious.
You checked Mafia, and he showed. You checked Sheth, and he showed up as Mafia.
That was my second night check. I checked Richard first night because he's the only person who knows me in person. So he could use that to his defense if he wanted to. If he was Mafia and he were to come out, he could just say, listen, I've hung out with Anxious before, and I wasn't comfortable with that position. None of you other people have ever seen me before. I checked Richard because I knew he wasn't going to be a first night kill.
Why did you not put Richard in your Town circle when I asked you two people to?
I didn't say shit day one until people started to actually formal Richard.
Yeah,
in day two here, I've defended Richard to the end in day two and the end of day one, or all of day two and the end of day one.
No, but there was a two safe, two Mafia, right? At some point.
Yeah, and I wasn't ready. I was not ready to even begin to. I wasn't ready to even talk about that.
The trap was
late.
Also, at the beginning of today, Unctuous texted out because he was talking about both me and Sheth by asking other people.
Yeah.
So that's what inclines me to believe him.
I believe him. Mafia. He just totally bandwagoned off my accusation on.
But you say you're
No, I was trying to clarify what you guys were talking about.
All right,
All I said was there was a point at which
it.
Unctuous said two Mafia and two. That's it. That's all I said.
I don't buy it.
You don't buy what? You don't buy Unctuous' top claim?
I don't buy his. I don't think he's cop.
I got.
Either way. Listen. Either way, either Sheth's Town or not, I know that we probably have to kill him and believe Unctuous.
Guys,
at this point in day two, and in this stage of the game, we almost have to believe Unctuous.
No.
Almost. How else are we going to get a lead from?
Hold on.
We have nothing.
Kiwi's been trying to say something for a bit, I think.
Who, me or?
No, I keep seeing Kiwi's mouth move, but I can't hear a word he's saying.
I'm trying to say something.
Oh, I thought you were trying to vote, Bob.
No, I want to say something.
I'll let him talk.
Okay, go.
Okay, okay. Two comments on that. I didn't like how you came out, Unctuous. Right before you came out, you made a comment that you're this done with day two. I'm done with this shit. And I felt Sheth made... Anyways. Then I felt Sheth made a good comment about Ryan, pointing that stuff out. And, I agreed with that. And then all of a sudden, bam, right on Ryan, or not Ryan, but right on Sheth with the cop claim and the Ryan. At first...
So we can take care of that day three.
This makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense why Unctuous would come out like that.
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
He's gonna die tonight.
Follow my logic, right? We don't believe most likely that Jordan was Mafia, right? So there probably is still 4 Mafia out there, right? And if there's 4 Mafia out there with no medic, there's no reason for Cop to come out this early. So naturally, Unctuous would want to hold off on coming out for as long as possible. Or, if the town was coming in a completely bad direction, then he'd have to come out and be like, okay, we're going nowhere. We're almost 2 hours into this goddamn game. We need to get something done. And that's what he's doing. It makes perfect sense.
He wouldn't come out and say, I'm Cop, let's kill me. Coming out as Cop at this point is really dumb.
It makes perfect sense.
I did something
guys,
suspicious. I did something so suspicious that my head was on the table. I didn't even come out at that point because I knew that vote wasn't going to go through.
Right,
we are at the point where this is okay, I got it. Now people were going to start listening to you and believing you, and that's unacceptable because I know you're Mafia.
Here's what we're going to do. You guys are going to kill me today. Go for it because you have to. But tomorrow when Unctuous is why isn't Unctuous dead? Why did they not kill the cop? Just kill him for me. You found a Mafia. My life for him as a Mafia. Let's do it. Kill me, formal on me. Do it. Kill Unctuous next round.
Okay, hold on. We got 4 hands up. We're gonna go in order. Eric first.
Okay. So Unctuous has been reading pretty talented to me. So for him to come out as Cop, I kind of believe him at this point. Regardless, we can't not trust him right now, and I think we need to go for Sheth. The other 3 people that I'm suspicious of are, of course, Kimball and Storzerg. And I'm kind of suspicious of Rob as well.
Peter.
Because Rob hasn't been saying jack shit.
Yeah, I do not like Rob. Bro.
I don't like. Do you agree? Do you agree?
Except for when one of those two people are accused, and then he kind of jumps in.
Unctuous, do you agree with the Eric's picks?
Eric's what?
Picks.
The three other people you just named out. Do you agree?
The thing that comes to most to my head, I think Rob is mafia as fuck.
Okay.
Like that's how Rob plays, and I'm super suspicious of Kimball. Like those are my two that I like. Those are the two that I want to check next. Like those are.
What about Bob?
I'm not comfortable with Bob at all. Like I don't know anything about Bob.
You said you wanted to kill him day 1 and day 2, right?
Peter had his hand up.
Yes,
Can we get
and
back to
I
Peter?
think that was
I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, I honestly, I think killing Bob was like a reasonable thing to do. I don't think he's been like. Okay. I don't trust the kid ever. I don't believe anything that he ever says. Everything that he ever says is a lie. Like
Jason.
So I was asked at the beginning of this round by Unctuous if I thought that Sheth, or what I thought about Sheth, right? And I said that his accusations seemed very much like it would be a pro-town thing to do. It's not safe for Mafia. So because of that, I thought he could be Mafia, because Sheth is good Mafia, so he's making things that seem like only a town could do it, right? I'm sorry if that's confusing. That's kind of what I said, that like, and then I made this whole discussion much later on in this day about how I thought Unctuous was going to come out as cop or something after making those plays. He just did. Okay. I'm buying it. I'm 100% buying it. I'm buying that Sheth is Mafia. And so like, you know, you sold me, Unctuous. Like, let's do this.
Are you defending yourself right now? Like, I don't understand
No,
what you're
I'm
doing
saying
right
Sheth.
now, Jason.
I'm saying I think Sheth is guilty. I said it before.
We all think
I mean, if that's the case, let's just do this.
Okay, Sheth has his hand up. It's a formal on Sheth.
Kiwi has something.
Go ahead, Kiwi, please. Then
well, I mean, everyone seems to agree with Unctuous. I don't really. I was suspicious of him at the start of the round. I'm not. It seems like everyone's going to go with it, so whatever. But
you're gonna.
I've got his way.
Veggie kill Storzerd.
Sheth,
Stupid, Eric.
You guys be quiet. Let Sheth talk, please.
All right.
Thank you.
So next round, you're gonna have me as confirmed town because Unctuous is not gonna die. So let me give you my reads really quickly. I think Store is pretty town. He hasn't had the panicked look of when he's Mafia. Tank, you've been playing really aggressive. I'm not 100% sure. Richard's super town. Ryan and Alan are sketchy to me. Eric's really, really town. Kimball, I actually think you're pretty town. Peter, you're really town. Rob, I'm really sketchy on you. And then there's absolutely no logical reason for Mafia not to kill Unctuous next round. There's no medic. Mafia has to kill him, right? The only reason they won't kill him.
Now that you've said something, now you're basically just telling your fellow Mafia members, "Hey, don't kill Unctuous to make him look like as fake as
you may think that, but it's not worth you checking again. It's not worth you getting another check at night, no matter what, right? Like there's no reason not to kill you.
Well, if you check Store in Store's town, like if they know who he's gonna. Sorry,
it's okay. I'll just leave it at this. They know they're not gonna kill him because he's Mafia. Just kill him next round and kill me right now because you have to. But seriously, kill him next round.
Okay. Do we have anything else for or against Sheth? Eric? All right, make it brief because we're at an hour mark already.
This game basically comes down to percentages and logical decisions. The reason why I sometimes get pretty good reads is because I don't get caught up in these one-off situations where it could be making this grand scheme. I thought Unctuous was town from the get-go. For him to come out as cop, I don't have any bias against that. I think that it's a legit cop claim. I think we should go ahead and go with the plan with Sheth, and that's just it.
Just real quick too, for against, just to get my word in at this point. No, just literally like 10 seconds after the initial like suspicion around Sheth after accusing him, I mentioned Sheth and said I was suspicious of him. People may have agreed or disagreed with my reasoning, but I was on that train a while ago, like well over an hour ago at this point. So I'm gonna be voting for him. But continue.
Okay, let's go.
All right, voting on Sheth in 3, 2, 1, vote.
Crazy good play. Kill him.
Sheth kills himself. Everyone goes to sleep. Wow, what a night, guys. What a night. Okay, we're gonna take a quick commercial break while all this shit goes down. All right, people are just getting water and stuff. All right, everybody, wake up, except for Kiwi and Rob. Kiwi and Rob are dead.
Guys, for your information, I shot Rob.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say if someone shot Kiwi, that would have been really bad.
Probably good, man. He seemed really sketchy.
I'm fine with that.
Me too. I'm super fine with it.
So are we gonna go along with
Yeah, Unctious.
killing Unctious?
Did you get a Mafia check?
I got a town read, and
What
it makes
happened?
sense. Like I made I got a town read, and I don't want to release it right away.
No, I think you have to release it because I really want to kill you.
Release it at this
Somebody
point, bro.
catch me up.
I mean, we can talk a little bit.
You have
but-
to release it, man.
I'm gonna wait on
Why
it
does he have to?
while I see what happens.
Well, he will during the day. I
Because
guess.
if you release it and we have apparently Peter, you, Richard, which probably clears Ryan and Eric, then we're in a really good spot to win. Therefore, I would hope that you would release it. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
releasing it right away. I'd rather ensure that I can get a decent check.
Right.
Assuming I don't die, like it is so set up for you to lynch me right now. Like
I'm not lynching you. I'm not lynching you.
We're not lynching you.
Wait,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not
not
lynching
lynching
you. It's pretty obvious.
Why would Mafia kill Kiwi?
I don't know. You
I don't know. Why would you?
I
Jason?
thought that was an
question.
awful
you
kill.
do it.
Oh,
Why
my
would you kill him, Jason?
No. Can we like seriously talk about this? He was.
Yeah, I'm
he was
asking
in.
you why.
He was in support of Sheth, right? He was the only one that didn't vote. Like, it's
Yeah.
just I don't know. It seems random. Like I'll agree on the whole like Sheth set it up so that they're not going to kill the cop to make the cop look suspicious. Like I'd still buy Unctious's cop based on my read of him at the beginning of the round when he came out with his power play. I expected him to come out as cop like right after that, and he didn't.
Also, Kiwi was in support of Bob too.
I think Kiwi was just reading incredibly town with a lot of his statements.
I think Kiwi was a safe
Was.
kill for Mafia to kill there because he had no either me or Kiwi because apparently we had no circles according to Jason. So
Bob, why
He
would
was-
you think Kiwi
kill
was?
for Mafia to get away.
Well, yeah, but you're suspicious, so Mafia wouldn't want to kill you if you're town because that would take away someone like.
I mean,
suspicious.
Like, the only people that really think I'm suspicious, at least I think, is you.
And
Like,
Carlton.
I haven't heard anybody else say
Well,
Carlton
actually,
said it day
so
one.
this is
after
something I wanted to talk about because there was no discussion. So does no one else have any suspicion or reads on Ribo? Because it seemed like so this is my thought. I brought this up. It didn't really get discussed. What that makes me think is that the people who are leading the discussion are Mafia.
I haven't
And
been
they
leading any
just-
discussion.
Not you. The other people that are leading the discussion deflected it away from you in a convincing way.
Who?
I mean, that's
So,
Eric.
Eric?
I knew
Like,
he
we
loved
brought
you.
up we brought up
Honestly.
Rival plenty of times, and Eric has been one of the few people that have been like, I think Rival's
Defending
safe.
him.
Like
Yeah,
like,
so-
it's Eric.
and
So unless
Eric
you believe
got the
Eric's
biggest-
Mafia,
Right, but there was no discussion about it. Like, no one else thinks that there was any merit with the Carlton calling him out and then Carlton dying that was suspicious of Bob.
Doors are
Okay,
just gonna die. Let him say something.
Oh man, heart attack. No. Ribo's comments. I think he's been playing town. And I want to say, and part of that is because I don't like his comments. I don't think they make sense half the time, which is why I think.
From you.
Okay, whatever. God, I had something else to say. Oh, Peter asked me about Kiwi. Why I thought he was so town. The way he just stuck his neck out so early, and I don't know, just the way he stuck his neck out, to defend me, to start the defense. Now, unless this is some like ploy from you, Peter, and you actually shot Kiwi and you're trying to bait something out, but I really thought that Kiwi was 100% town, and all his actions they made sense from that point on.
yeah, I don't agree with that.
Actually, you and Sheth both accused Kiwi at some point during this game.
Oh, really?
Alan,
Yeah,
what
I
are your
did at day
thoughts,
one.
man?
Yeah, day one before Kiwi
Yeah, I
defended
thought-
me.
I thought Kiwi was.
I think that Kiwi was pretty town. Like I'm not
Yeah, he was
100%
pretty
sure,
town.
but he was fairly town. Like,
Yeah, like let's remember, like it was during the time when Unctus came out as cop, and we were talking about how like it was pretty clear that it made sense for him to come out as cop. Kiwi was one of the only few people aside from Sheth that was really saying like, dude, I think Unctus is like full of shit right now.
Yeah.
And like for him to like go so out there, I mean,
Peter, why did you kill Rob?
I thought Rob was the most suspicious, actually.
Really?
I would have done it.
Because he was quiet, or because he was defending other people?
No, he was.
A little of column A, a little of column B.
Okay.
Oh, I do want to say, like,
I'll take it.
Actually, I've got a question for Unctus. I know you want to keep the person, confidential. Can you give us 4 people you'd be willing to talk about instead?
I would be willing to talk about. I think Kimball is on my list of people I'm interested in talking about. I think Storzerg's on my list of people I'm willing to talk about. I think I'm a little bit suspicious of the fact that Zenef was so ready to bandwagon behind me. Like he was like one of the first people who was full force, like unctuous for
he's
the win.
been bandwagoning all day. I called him out on it. That's just his trait. I don't know if it's good or bad.
Okay, and the 4th?
Alan.
Okay.
So can we talk about me? But before that, I just want to say something more about Ribo. I just remember, like, at the end of last round, I really liked, like, he was doing very much in support of Unctus too, and so I forgot that, like, yeah, you kind of swayed me. Like, I'm okay with you now, but it did bother me that no discussion came up like last round. But like so.
Okay.
Since I brought it up, I want to bring it up again that, like, I'm okay with you as town now. And then can we talk about me a bit?
Yeah, I gotta.
You're okay with me as town now?
Yes.
Okay.
Kimball.
Yeah.
The circle that we have, apparently.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit in regards to how it's not really a circle, but more of a?
Well, you were formal, right? And so I brought up the fact. So Kiwi brought up the fact, I think, that he liked your defense, and no one else really was speaking up for you. And I brought up the fact that I liked the first half of it because you did seem really at ease, and then the second half, I didn't like the things you were saying anymore, and that kind of ruined it for me. But like I was kind of 50-50.
Okay.
So I believe it was Eric, maybe, that's been putting us together in that group. So maybe.
Yeah, I wanted to talk more about that. How he
real
keeps
quick.
pressuring like that we're both together, and a lot of his comments about that.
Yeah, based off that Unctuous, who did you say that you're suspicious of? Jason, Store Zerg?
I said Kimball,
Jason, Store Zerg, and me.
Alan, and Zerg. Alan.
Okay, so let's take this then. So
Maybe I did this wrong.
If Peter's Vig, and Unctuous is cop, and Richard is safe, therefore we have a possible, and he thinks Eric is safe. He probably wouldn't have checked Eric. He's in me, Brago, or Tank as town, right? So I still think we need to go obviously along those four, but out of those people, I have Brager as the most town, and Tank being second. So
who's Brager?
I'm saying he probably didn't check Eric, so therefore
Okay.
he probably checked me, Brager, or Tank, and he got a
town read.
Not necessarily, because he didn't know Peter was vigilante last night, so he could have also checked Peter. Didn't know.
I don't know.
I feel
he
like
probably wouldn't have checked Tank
I
because
feel like Unctuous should have checked me or Stores. Are supposedly like two of the highest like shady people.
Yeah, but
I find it strange that they did not.
Well, he didn't say who he checked. He could have.
No, but I asked him to group 4 people that he didn't check.
No, he's just.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that.
Cop has more knowledge than everyone else this round, besides
Yeah,
Mafia.
so, like,
he gets to play it
What
however
he said
wants.
was what you asked him, and what he
says
replied
doesn't
for.
matter. It's all up to him to make the reads off of it.
That's true. He could have just been doing that, and then if we form with someone, he could defend them. Like we don't know.
it does kind of matter because he checked either me, Tank, or Ryan.
Not necessarily. He could still
What matters is he
find out later.
does not know those 4 people. He doesn't know any mafias for sure.
And that's why I'm concerned as to why he didn't check Kimball. Like,
I would have
does that make any
appreciated that check.
sense? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I would have
Him
really
picking
appreciated
those
that
names
check,
doesn't
but-
necessarily. He could have
No, I
intentionally
think-
grouped.
No.
Like,
there's
someone with
there's
the
an
other
intersection between him checking people and people he wants to talk about, which is what Bob asked him for. And
So
what
let's
he
talk about the
responded
4
with.
people.
That's what we talked about. The 4 people he was
sure. Go,
suspicious
go, go.
of would have been a check. That's why I'm concerned.
No, that doesn't
No,
necessarily
it's not
mean a check.
necessarily. It
He's
doesn't
talking about the
necessarily
4
follow.
people he wanted to talk about now that he's already done the check.
Well, if he
It's
checks
different than
someone that he knows is town and we're talking to them and it's obvious someone is throwing them under the bus, that's information he's going to glean. Whereas if he says that person is town, there's no longer value in talking about them, right?
I still think
yeah.
Oaks is a cop. I just didn't like his check. Is all I'm saying. Okay, like
You don't even know who his
You
check
don't
is.
know. Check though.
he's got a town read, but he's suspicious of Jason.
No. There's a
He's
difference.
not suspicious of them. He wants to talk.
I'm
about
so
these
tired
other
of this
people.
conversation.
Right?
Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
They would let Unctuous dictate.
I don't know where. Maybe I'm just way off.
I'm
but I don't
leading.
understand.
I'm doing this. I was gonna sit back. I really was hoping that something would come of it, and then nothing did, and that's really frustrating. Except for the fact that Kimball was all over Rybo's shit right from the beginning of the day. Okay, I checked Rybo. He's town. That makes me really, really suspicious of Kimball.
So therefore, I don't know why you didn't check him. What the fuck, man?
Hold on. I did come back and like say that there was stuff that Rybo was doing at the end of last round that I liked.
You're dead.
No, I'm serious.
I formal Kimball.
Yeah,
I formal Kimball.
Okay, so yeah, last round I was gunning for you as possible. It made sense. Like Carlton had called you out. No one else seemed to catch on to the discussion. And so I brought that up again this round. And then I like remembered that at the end of the round, I liked the things you were saying about like you were really in support of Unctuous.
Yeah, because I'm town.
Yes, right. I like that. And I brought that up under my own volition without it being like pinned on me as something I needed to say. Like already this round. It's like I remembered that let me make sure I say this, that I think that you're town, right?
Thanks.
Like, I'm town. Okay. Also, so put Rybo aside. Okay. I have been making reads and calling out people based on behavior. I've not said anything contradictory or been creating false information or even just positing stuff. Everything I've been saying has been based on observations, which can be backed up, right? I've made defenses for people like Storzerg based on his mannerisms. And a lot of people I saw like kind of agreeing with the fact like the first half was good and the last half was kind of shit. Right? I've been doing nothing which you could put on paper and say this is wrong, this is suspicious, this is bad. I've gotten a lot of flack from Eric, which I've been defending constantly. And I've even like said like I don't know where it's coming from, but like I think Eric is like town, right? So like
I think we have this in the gap.
Let me give
Okay,
you some
hold on. We need to talk about who you're gonna check before killing him because
No.
But you're gonna die tonight if he's Mafia.
Yeah,
bro.
but it
Like,
doesn't
Medic
matter
could
who
still
he
be alive.
checks. No, we don't have a
We
medic.
need a
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's up to him.
Like
Listen,
it doesn't
listen.
matter who he checks. It's completely irrelevant.
It does.
Listen,
No.
I am town though.
No, it doesn't.
Like let's at least talk a little bit more about like the other suspicions. Like
who?
Okay, so
Alan?
there's Alan. He hasn't checked Brigor, who again, he's been kind of quiet. He's had a few gems of information, but it was just information. It was not like well, Sheth was the one that was criticizing him on it, and Sheth we think is Mafia.
I wanted to call it formal. I felt like it didn't happen. I am not on the fence at all.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kill Kimball. I want to do it. I'm pulling the trigger.
Don't. I am
I'm pulling the trigger.
not Mafia.
We have this game in the bag, Kimball. Whether like this,
No, I don't. Look, Sheth, I think is the only Mafia that we've. How many lynches have we had? We lynched Sheth and we lynched Jordan.
We lynched Jordan and we shot Rob.
We shot Rob. Okay, Sheth, maybe Rob. That's it. I'm not Mafia. There's still at least 2 Mafia out there. Okay, it's not Lilo. It's not Lilo yet, but I am town. I have been making pro town moves. There's been this air of suspicion on me that I've had to deflect all game, and I've been working hard to do that, and it's hard. It's like playing with one hand tied behind your back because Eric was jumping on me from the beginning with no strong justification, and I've had to deflect this the whole game. Okay, and I've still been making observations that are useful to town. I was in support of you as cop. I called you out as cop during your defense before you announced that you were cop based on the read that I got when you did your initial, like, at the beginning of day 2. I called that shit out before it even came out.
Yeah, but why does
I'm
that?
making
Why,
good reads.
okay,
Yeah.
here's what's up. I kind of trust Kimball right now because he wasn't sighing nearly as much as he does when he's Mafia. When he's Mafia and he defends himself, he does this thing where he goes,
No, I'm actually really shitty Mafia, and I'm generally okay town and good, like, roles, but...
Okay.
I want to put in
Kimball,
that
two people. Sorry.
Go.
I wanted to know who Kimball wanted to kill.
I want to believe that Eric's town.
Sign.
I really want to believe Eric's town. I don't understand why he's been pushing me so hard, and I want to kill him just to get him to stop like pushing on me. But
Wait, are you saying Eric?
Wait,
is
did you
Mafia?
just say you think he's town, but you're gonna
Yes,
kill
but
him?
I want to kill him to get him to shut up to get like pressure.
No, all right, no. Can
I at least
I'm not
finish
rescinding.
talking? Can I at least
Yes, let him
talk?
finish talk.
Okay, I said I think Rybo is town based on like his jumping on just his support last round.
Yeah,
I've had
fast forward.
ZNF. I've had a bad read on ZNF for a while. Alan, I have no read, and I don't know. I think Peter obviously is fine. I thought Rich was fine. I was in support of Storzerg, and I just asked Brigor. He seems convincing. So I would say, look, if you're gonna lynch me, I would say put pressure on ZNF next round because we haven't had a lot of pressure on him. Okay.
Nobody wants to lynch you right now. He believes you. We're asking if you want to lynch right now.
I want to lynch ZNF. Like I'm
comfortable with it.
I'm
I'm
taking
comfortable
like
with it.
60% to
I
lynch.
just want to point something out.
No, that's an awful idea.
I want to point something out. Mentioning that someone is town, but then saying you want to kill them anyways is not a good move, and I am not happy with that.
I want to make a comment on that. I want to make let me make a comment on that. I understand where Kimball is coming from on that comment where he wants to kill him. I feel the exact same way, okay? I really feel Eric is town, but it's getting really fucking annoying how he keeps just tunneling. And it is getting
Do you want to
annoying.
kill him?
I understand where he's coming from, and I understand that he knows that he shouldn't kill Eric, and he wants to kill somebody else.
How can
So
he
all
be
I'm
town? and
saying-
be
hold on, real quick.
though? Like,
You're calling me out for putting facts on the table, but not going through with them. you're calling out Eric right now, but you're just kind of chilling back. You're
because
basically
I remember that Sheth was really calling you out on that, and I liked what Sheth was saying, and then we decided he was Mafia, so like I shouldn't like what Sheth was saying.
All right, motherfuckers. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. Here's the plan.
I'll
Here's what we're doing.
rescind so we
we're
can listen to
rescinding.
Unctuous.
We're rescinding. I would like to kill either Storzerg or ZNF. I don't care which one. I will vote for either of them.
I would like to not vote for Storzerg.
Storzerg.
It's not me.
I mean, obviously, I'd have to say, I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in. Obviously, since I'm town, I mean, if they have to choose one, I'd have to choose Storzerg, but I don't think either of us are Mafia. I'm just gonna summarize generally what people have been suspecting of me over the course of this game. So there's been Kimball saying that I've been bandwagoning a lot and jumping from person to person. I'd just like to say that when Kimball was first suspected, I was not on the bandwagon to suspect him in the first place. I more or less I didn't really go outright and defend him, but I basically implied that he was having a difficult time speaking up and that the allegations against him were very inconsistent. You also have to realize that I'm kind of a new player, and since I don't know a lot of your faces, I more or less have to trust people that I generally see doing very pro-town moves. And in this game, the only person that has done super pro-town moves has been Eric. He's been making relatively on-point calls, and even if some of his suspicions might be off, he's the only one that's been making the most, he's been leading the town and formulating, he's making sure that the nights end, as time gets along with Unctuous. So you have to realize that I kind of follow along with them, mostly because I don't know what the landscape is, what my reads on you guys are in general. And since both of these guys, their plays have made complete sense to me as town, that's why I'm kind of quote unquote bandwagoning them. But I mean, I have my fair share of disagreements with both of them. So
I'm formaling ZNF. I'm doing it. Let's do this.
Okay. I would say Alan or ZNF.
Okay, formal already.
No, this is no.
I'm formaling ZNF.
Yeah, give your defense, ZNF.
Okay, so I'm not any role, so I mean, there's no worry about any of that. I'm just town. I don't understand why people have been making these really awful accusations against me with practically no reason whatsoever. I don't think I've been bandwagoning with Eric and Unctuous. I totally believe what they're doing, but I have my fair share of disagreements with them. For example, I still don't think Tank is completely in the clear, and I don't think that Storzerg is a potential Mafia. And I think those two are opinions that both Eric and Unctuous have been making very solid claims on. Unctuous completely believes Tank is Mafia, and for the longest time, Storzerg has been under fire. No, sorry. Innocent, sorry. Yeah, Innocent. And for the longest time, Eric has believed Storzerg is heavily Mafia. I don't understand why I would believe both of them, have my fair share of disagreements, and quote unquote bandwagon of them if I was Mafia like that. So
Peter, do you think ZNF was bandwagoning on my defense?
I mean,
or do you think that was genuine?
I don't know.
I mean, I specifically, I defended Storzerg when everyone else was generally against him. And I told Peter too to believe in me, and I was on Peter's butt when no one else suspected him. I'm not bandwagoning by any means in any of these kind of scenarios.
I'd rather lynch Alan over ZNF.
I don't have any kind of town. I don't think I have a circle around me. I don't have a circle around me because I don't think a lot of people trust me. Because I'm new, because I haven't been tracked, and because I haven't spoken as much as other people. But I don't think bandwagoning is the correct way of identifying.
I don't trust ZNF at all. I don't trust ZNF for an instant. I'd rather kill him right now.
Look,
you trust him more than Alan, though?
I'm not putting ZNF on my safe list, but I think that there are better lynches at this point.
I agree.
Who else?
I think Alan is the best lynch right now.
No.
Yeah. Maybe. Actually.
Maybe.
I think
still don't know that
Storzerg
there's
is the
been a lot
best.
of evidence
I think
for
Storzerg is
Alan.
the
I
best
think
lynch.
Storzerg is better than ZNF.
I agree.
No.
I think Storzerg's
Okay, there's a
better
formal
lynch
on
than
someone,
ZNF.
right?
Okay, I rescind. I'm formaling Storzerg. No more of this bullshit. We're killing this
Are
guy.
you kidding?
We're fucking killing Storzerg right now.
Okay,
I'm tired
formal
of
on
this shit.
Storzerg.
I don't
Storzerg, give your
care.
defense.
Defend. You haven't done anything,
fucking-
Storzerg. You haven't
I
done
don't give a
anything
shit, dude.
worthwhile.
Dude, and Alan's done he hasn't done shit.
Well, I haven't been
Rescind
bandwagoning
on
people.
me,
He's gonna
kill
die
Alan,
next.
end the day. Okay?
No.
I'm not. That's it. Rescind on me, kill Alan. Fail the vote. I don't care. We should be killing Alan.
Why are
and
you protecting ZNF so much?
myself?
No, ZNF.
No, I said myself as in why am I protecting ZNF?
Yes.
Because I do kind of believe that he was genuine in defending me early on. I felt if he was Mafia, it would have been really easy to not say anything, to let it slide.
Yes.
Like that day would have been really easy to have me lynched. And
did you not see Storzerg's defense? It was
honestly, it would have been really easy for everybody to just slide and have me go.
Did he say a lot about you during his defense though? Because I said something and I said that he like smiled and nodded his head. Was he vocal too?
He was vocal. He was vocal before you.
I don't remember.
Whether
Are you rescinding or not?
I really believe him or not, like I'm not entirely sure for him.
We
But
have
I
this
would
game in the
rather
bag.
lynch
We
Alan
have this
over
fucking game in the
ZNF
bag.
or myself.
Yeah, either way, I mean, we just kill Alan next. Doesn't matter. If he doesn't want to talk, we'll just kill him next.
Are we going to vote?
We
Yeah,
can
we're
vote,
voting.
and then we can fail to vote, and then we should.
Does
lynch
anyone
Alan.
else have anything to say for or against him? Unctuous, is that a vote or a comment?
It's a vote.
This is a
Unctuous
vote.
is being
Okay,
rude.
all right, ready. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. 1, 2.
Wow.
Okay, that's most people.
That should
Storzerg is dead. Everyone go to sleep.
Help people.
That should
No,
tell you something.
sleep. Freaking don't even need my rose petals to cast that spell. Mafia, tell me what you're doing. Cop and everyone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, everybody wake up except for Dr. Jason Kimball.
The fuck?
Well, how is
They're
Unctuous not dead?
They're making a play. Either they're making a play or we don't trust
Yeah,
Unctuous.
like Unctuous, who'd you
There's
check?
no way
This could be the
Unctuous is
game.
top.
Check.
Unctuous, who'd you check?
Check Kimball.
What?
You guys believe like how is he still alive? This doesn't make any sense.
Oh.
At this point, if there's a real cop, you probably should come out with your checks.
No,
This
there's
is
no.
Not happening.
Tom's probably
Not
dead by now.
happening. No
Either
way.
Tom or nobody.
Am I the only one who still thinks Unctuous is scumbag?
You've thought that for a while, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kiwi thought that for a while too. He's dead.
I
Like it
still
makes
think-
no sense that he's still alive,
The
right?
main reason,
Okay, so
I
here's
believe
the thing.
Unctuous is because he came out so early with like what 2 people dead. That's a super ballsy mafia play.
So
The
here's
first
what
thing
I
he
think
did
is
on the
going
second
on.
day was point out me and Sheth, which was what he said both of his checks were. Like that's what he came out with the second day.
I'm willing
That's
to
what
bet.
made me believe him.
I mean, Richard, I don't want to put you down, but if Unctuous is fake cop, he said
I'm
you're safe. So I don't.
Either way, let's just kill Alan and see what if Unctuous
I'm willing to bet that Alan.
Are you joking me, Rybo?
No.
No.
What do you think?
There's something. There's something.
It's late, dude. Like
How is he still alive? Like, there's no medic.
Doesn't matter. Something's going on.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna like. I didn't agree with his check last night, but at the
I want to
same
hear
time,
from anyone that's not Richard or Rybo.
I think Kimball was a good check. We were very suspicious of Kimball. It would probably have, or we thought it would have led to a lynch based on what we talked about yesterday.
No, but remember what Unctuous said yesterday. He was like, "Okay, I believe Kimball, I'm gonna kill either ZNF or Alan.
So Unctuous, walk us through it.
So I don't know. That's what's confusing me. I mean,
like I'm supposedly the shadiest one, but you still haven't checked me after like 2 extra
Were you
turns.
still?
This makes no sense.
I wasn't convinced on Kimball. I wanted to like. I wasn't happy with Kimball as a vote. I was happier with ZNF or Storzerg as a vote.
Okay, so here's the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
After he defended himself, and I figured that if Storzerg was defending ZNF, then it's probably either one or both of them. So I figured it would be a better check to check Jason because it didn't make sense for Mafia to kill Jason. Like it doesn't make sense for Mafia to kill Jason.
It does now, actually.
Fancy that.
So I really
the only one that suspects this.
Well, here's the thing.
You're not the only person, Alan, but like I don't know
we
what
have,
else.
we have one
with,
kill
dude.
and one check, right?
I don't know. Like my general belief is if Unctuous is fake cop, we're fucked. And
We're not fucked. We can still kill him.
Stop.
I know. No.
Let me finish.
But no.
All right, go Peter.
Let me finish. Okay. So we have 9 people. We have potentially one more check, whether or not, like if you believe Unctuous, I believe Unctuous, he gets one more check. He may die, right? And then we have one more kill, right? Right now, the people I feel good about are Eric, Unctuous, Richard, Tank, Rybo, probably Ryan too. So the only 2 people that I don't feel good about right now are ZNF and Alan.
I agree.
Okay. Alan's the only person that's on my safe list right now. Out of
So
everybody.
That's what I'm saying. We kill Alan. Let's go tonight and check in. We'll go to bed.
To me, it's just weird that Alan's speaking out against Unctuous. Like that seems so obvious. If he
Really
was Mafia.
obvious.
No, like what I'm saying is that if he was Mafia, that seems weird.
And if that was
he's the
their
only
play.
person, yeah.
Unless he's the only person left.
We can keep raising the stakes here, right? So like if Unctuous is faking and we're completely wrong, right? Tomorrow it'll be lynch or loss.
Like Peter, I don't understand why you guys think it's not like he's faking it.
No, think about it this way.
We're talking about a game of chances.
Alan has never gone off after a play like that. Alan has never gone after a play like that. Whenever he starts to speak up, if he ever does, he tends to do like, I don't know. He tends to do the right thing. It doesn't make sense for him to be trying to fuck me this late in the game as Mafia.
Unctuous, if you thought that Jason was reading somewhat down after his defense, why did you pick him?
Because I wanted to make sure, dude.
This isn't a time to make sure. This is a time to find Mafia.
Yeah, like
after you said you're so suspicious of DNF and Storzerg, like why the fuck did you check Kimball?
I don't know which one to tell you.
Don't get it.
I think it was it was a reasonable check, dude. Like
no,
not as reasonable as DNF that you just said that you wanted to kill.
Yeah,
not but 5 minutes ago,
man.
So basically,
dude, that is a stupid play. If you are Talon, that was retarded.
I don't think it was that retarded, man. Like honestly,
I think he just
said he wanted to kill ZNF, bro. Like why would you check Jason?
If he was confident enough in being able to
sure.
kill ZNF during the day, that he would want to check
sure.
out.
I mean, he has. I mean, okay, like I mean, to back up.
That's a small percentage,
it
bro.
does sound like he has enough support to kill me outright. Like it really does sound like Unctuous does have support, right? Because Unctuous is Eric. Peter thinks I should die. Richard's obviously on Unctuous' side. Tank's probably on Unctuous' side. I think there's clearly enough people to kill either Alan or I that Unctuous doesn't need to necessarily worry about that and worry about someone else that's completely not in the clear. Or no, like someone that he thought was kind of in the clear but still was 50-50 and watch could easily leave alive for one reason or another.
But he thought Jason was Town. Like, okay, whatever.
No. He has a point.
We got to. Okay, go ahead. Talk it out. I'm nervous.
I feel like Unctuous has supposedly been suspicious of me the entire time. Yet there's been like 2 or 3 rounds where he could have checked me. It just fucking makes no sense.
Dude, I'm not that suspicious of you. All right, you're like the name thrown in to try to get Mafia to kill you.
You're
like,
full of shit. First, I wasn't on your list, and then I called you out, and then you put me on your list. Like, what the hell is that?
You need to mix shit up. You need to take the people that you trust, the people that you don't trust, and make it so that nobody knows who it is. Okay? You need to do that because Mafia can work that shit out, especially when they're trying to fucking frame you, killing one person after another. I'm tired of it. Like that.
Well, supposedly it's Stores or ZNF and me, but you didn't check any of us. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, here's my here's my read on everything. And Peter kind of cut me out back there, but I'm gonna kind of explain more in depth. If Unctuous is like fake cop, right, and he's been playing us this entire time, that probably means we're fucked. And the reason why is because that means he's been leading us wrong for how many days now, right? And that means at that point we don't know if Sheth was Mafia, we don't know if Richard's Mafia or not, right? There's so much up in the air that if Unctuous is fake cop, we're just completely fucked. Either way, like we're so in deep now with Unctuous that it doesn't matter. So I just say we follow Unctuous, right? Because there's no other statistical way that town can win this game. Because if Unctuous is fake cop, then I mean, props to him. We're just screwed.
It sucks because like I'm almost about like 60% sure that Unctuous is fake cop based off of the 2 prior checks that I pointed out in the previous 2 days. It just didn't make sense.
Because if you're pointing shit, I don't need to defend myself. Okay, I don't need
have to. You don't have to.
You don't have to believe me that I think it's a good check. But Peter, you believe he's the Vigi, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Peter thinks his checks were good.
I don't think his checks were awful. I just think
But why didn't not just stay on track?
I think he got unlucky.
We were on a road. We were on a road, and like
I'm formaling ZNF. We're doing this. We're still
okay.
You're taking ZNF over Alan?
Yes, I'm taking ZNF over Alan.
All right, let's go.
This is going to be one hell of a.
Okay, Peter. Like, okay, all right. I'm not even gonna go to Peter because he wants me dead. But all right, so here's my defense. Okay, like I don't think there's been a single thing I've said this entire game that has either been anti-town or anti-town in any way. I think I've been making accurate like analyzations of people, and I've been backing up the right people when it counts. I think my assessment of how this game is going, of what we should be doing as town to just follow Unctuous because I think he's cop, is like I don't think anyone else has been bringing this up, right? That if Unctuous is fake cop, we're fucked, and the best thing we should be doing is just to be following Unctuous in any way.
Right. Like, so you're okay with dying?
And, no, I'm not okay with dying. Like that's what I've been saying.
That's inconsistent with what you just said.
No, it's not. Like I've said this yesterday. I said yesterday that while I believe in both of them, I had my fair share of disagreements with either of them, right? And in this particular yesterday, right?
Your argument is that your argument is that it was statistically impossible for us to do anything, or not optimal for us to do anything but follow him, and you're saying don't follow him.
No, I'm saying like he's choosing between Alan and me, and if I had to make the choice, I'd obviously choose Alan because I'm town and I'd rather not die, right? But just yesterday, right? Like Peter and I were the only 2 people that did not vote for Storzerg. Like remember that. The only 2 people. What about Storzerg? And what does that tell you about Peter and I? Right? Peter is confirmed vigilante unless Kiwi was vigilante or something. And Peter risked coming out as Vigi, right? Which is stupid, which is like completely improbable in all likelihood. So what does that tell you if Peter and I are the only 2 people who didn't vote for Store and I myself had consistently said that Store was town the entire game? Like, so just to sum everything up, because this is getting way too long, I've been making completely pro-town moves. I have my fair share of agreements with the 2 people who I think are town, and I think it's a big mistake for you to kill me right now. I think it's much better to go with Alan, which is the much more statistically, much more likely choice as opposed to me. That's all I gotta say.
I agree.
I think you need to think about this for a second. We can always reform ZNF. You do have a block behind you, but we do need to think about this.
I do want to say one thing about ZNF. I was looking back through my notes of round 1, who I thought, and I think I've been using the word circle incorrectly. I should be saying that they've been working together or complementary of each other. I don't think I should necessarily say circle, but when I scanned through it for ZNF's name, the only person I have him linked with is Rob, and I think we're pretty confident that Rob is Mafia. I just want to
wait. Okay. 1 second. I need you to clarify that really quickly. Why did you think I was linked with Rob? Because I said for the longest time. Remember when I said I need Rob to speak up?
It was from round one.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. Well, I just like to remind everyone that I told Rob to speak up because he hadn't said anything. I told Rob at least 3 times to speak up. I don't think there was a single time when I. Yeah, I don't think there was like a single time when I didn't tell Rob to like. Yeah, go for it.
I want to point something out. Like Tank, I know we were giving like Unctuous the floor, and that's fine because he's apparently cop, right? But like Peter, Tank, and Eric, what do you think the chances are of him being fake cop and then Ryan also being Mafia?
Go ahead.
Chances. I don't need. We don't have to follow through. I just want chances.
I'm just saying, at the point when he came out, I think it's strongly likely that he's cop.
Okay.
Feel the same way.
We can talk numbers too.
I want to say one
I
thing.
am at the slimmest of 50 plus 1 with him.
If I was, wait, we can talk numbers actually. If I was fake cop, I would have led you in the wrong direction for 2 turns.
Yeah, and
which
you're
means
not dead.
Which means the only confirmed, at least what we think is confirmed, kill would be the vigilante shot on Rob. Which means that there, including myself, there would be 2 other Mafia members left. If I was Mafia, I would have said that there was a Mafia check last night instead of saying that I checked Kimball, because that would put us in a win condition.
I do want to say something about Unctuous, and that's
there's 9 left, right?
There's 9. We have 9. So let me just talk numbers right now. We could be completely fucked, right? It could be 5-4, and we just don't know it. We could be completely fucked.
If
But
it's
I don't
5-4,
think that's the
we
case.
lose tonight if we lynch wrong.
Yeah. We could be like Unctuous could be the fake cop, and Rob could have been Mafia. Like this is a possibility. I don't believe that this is the case though, because I don't think Unctuous would look and feel and just emote this huge sense of being defeated right now. You know, as soon as we heard Kimball, is dead, I don't think.
Unctuous looked devastated. Unctuous looked devastated.
Well, let's do this. Who do you want to kill, Unctuous? Let's go.
I'm not done with ZNF. I want to kill ZNF.
All right, let's do this.
I think this is an awful idea.
Do it. Holy shit.
It doesn't matter. We're trying to end this.
Peter.
game. It's late.
Like Peter, do you not remember what we did yesterday? Neither of us voted for Store. I don't know why you would be voting for me when it was clear that both of us were on the same page about him.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you can choose. Like, you can choose not to vote someone to try and get me on your side. Like, you are right now.
But who has been most consistent on these votes? Right? Like, have I ever shifted on Store? Like, even despite his really cruddy defense, like his stuttering, his nervousness, his like inability to convey his thoughts properly, like, have I ever shifted on my read of him despite that?
No, but
so why, as Mafia, would I possibly go against the shadiest person in the town?
Because
like, why would I back him up so much?
Yeah, because you have the ability to communicate with each other. So you have the ability. Like, do we want why would you back up Store? Like, maybe you want to keep him around for like ever. I don't know.
I mean, it seemed pretty clear what the rest of the town thought. It seemed pretty clear that the rest of town was completely after Store, right? Like, look at the only 2 people who didn't vote. You and I are the only 2 people.
That's completely there are 2 different ways there are 2 different styles you can play this. Okay. You can either go after the easy things and, you know, get Store lynched, you know, get quiet people lynched that, you know, don't contribute to the town, but, you know, are actually townies, right? You can play it that way. Or you can play the strongest town move possible, right?
Right.
And so like, it would really suck if you were town, but like,
yes, and it does suck because I am town.
It doesn't. Wait, at this point, you mentioned it yourself. We're following Unctuous's lead, man. You got to die, and then we'll kill Alan. It doesn't matter. If you want town, you'll just take the bullet right now.
Like, no, as a town, I feel like it's my responsibility to tell Unctuous when he's wrong. Like, just because I say follow Unctuous does not mean that I agree with everything that he does. Like, following does not mean blindly following.
We're not blindly following.
Oh, I mean, that's what it feels like. You're offering no other reason why I'm Mafia other than like, oh.
No, I think
Like-
that if we're following his lead, then the town is so far ahead that it doesn't matter if you die right
I
now.
want to do it. Let's
Okay.
do it.
But
See
what
what
makes
I'm
you
saying?
think?
Alan,
But what makes you
Alan,
think
Alan,
Town is so
Alan.
ahead? He got
Alan.
I
Sheth.
don't.
We
I'm
don't
just
know if
saying,
Rob was
based
Mafia.
off your logic, that's the route we're going. That's all I'm
Alan.
saying.
Yes, and what I would say is, like, I respectfully disagree that I'm Mafia, and and if you're gonna choose between someone like Alan and I, like, I have to say Alan.
DNF,
I
shut
agree
up,
with
you're
Alan
fucking
as
it right
well.
now.
However,
I can't believe
we can't.
it's not
we
me
can't
or
go-
DNF. Like, they're trying to win the game so obviously. Like, why is he not dead? Like, this doesn't make any sense. I can't believe you guys are getting like. You guys are
Like
following
we
this shit.
already
Like, it doesn't make
established, like you guys have the ability to communicate. We already established that this is a likely thing that you do, right? Keep the cop alive. Keep like all this. Like if we lose, then we lose. All right. Like I'm okay with that. Well, like if we lose, then well
You're
played,
okay
Mafia.
with losing? Like
I think we're super
no
ahead
one-
right now.
Here's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
so, too.
No one's pulled this
Yeah.
off yet, right? No one's been able to pull off. Oh, we kept the cop alive, for 3 days in a row, right? If you guys do this, then I'm okay with losing it, and we'll look out for it in the future.
My concern is Ryan keeps trying to
First thing
close
we've
this
done.
game out, man.
Somebody please tell me, outside of Sheth, right? We don't know if Rob was Mafia, right? He was lurking, but that doesn't mean he's Mafia, right? Why do you think you are so far ahead when there are potentially 3 Mafia, 9 players left, and even if there's 2 players and 9 Mafia left?
Eric, what do you have to say?
If there's
Dude,
three
the only-
Mafia, if there's
I
three
want to
Mafia,
hear from Eric. Please let
you
Eric
don't
speak.
lose.
Please let Eric speak.
Okay.
All right. I think, like I said earlier, that it is unlikely. I mean, a lot of things would have had to have gone right for Unctious to be able to fake cop for this long and to lead us in the wrong direction.
Oh no.
At this point, so at this point, like I said earlier, I like to follow my gut and I like to go with the plan. And if I lose to a good Mafia play, then well played. But I don't want to pass up a more logical choice.
Then who?
I don't think ZNF is Mafia.
I'd rather kill Alan, but
Me too.
just wants to make the play.
I also don't think that ZNF is Mafia.
Let's kill Alan.
All right, let's
Neither of
go.
us are Mafia. I can't
we have a
believe you guys
formal?
are getting like you guys are just listening to him blindly like this. It's blatantly obvious. He should be dead. There's no fucking
No,
medic.
no,
Like,
I'm
how
not.
you
I'm not. I'm going with my gut. I'm going
did
with my
this
gut.
one other
I'm going
time.
with my gut. I'm going with my gut. Every time I don't go with my gut, I fucking lose. So we're doing this. I'm killing ZNF. I'm done.
Alan.
I
Well,
want
there's
to
still a formal. Well, there's still a formal. I mean, he's not rescinding, so you might as well vote.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay.
I'm going with my gut.
We're voting on ZNF. In 3,
Don't do it. Don't
2,
do it. Don't do it.
1, vote. 1, 2, 3, 4 against 5. Vote does not pass.
I think you guys know.
Okay, it's Rybo and Unctious.
So now you don't believe Unctious.
What do you think about Ryan?
I would rather lynch Alan over ZNF right now.
So
I mean,
let's-
too, but
We
Okay,
just
let's
voted. There's no over. Like,
About Ryan.
I think that was a mistake.
like, I feel like the way that Alan's pushing is like just like overly acting.
Yes.
dude, are you serious? Do you not see the logic?
All right.
Like, why is he
Let's do it.
still alive?
If you guys, I have to trust the people that I think are town. I think we should have killed ZNF, but I'm willing to kill him.
I'm following you, buddy. So whatever you're putting your hand up for, I'm putting my hand up for.
Let's do it. Let's kill Alan. We have to. Like, right? Like, I think ZNF was my gut kill, and I would have rather gone with him. But we have
Dude,
to at this
at
point.
least Eric, you should see that I'm town, right? Like, say something.
I've had you on the fence the whole game. I've never put you on my town circle. I don't know if you're Mafia for sure, but at this point, you're the only one that I haven't cleared in my mind. So
Me,
Unless-
Ryan, Unctious voted. Who else voted?
Peter.
Peter. And Peter's and I are in this kind of the same boat following Unctious.
I'm following Unctious as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like
I
really
want to,
suspicious.
but I didn't want to kill ZNF before Alan.
Okay. So
What do you think about-
what if the vote fails on Alan?
I think the best reads that I have are Richard, who I checked, Rybo, who I checked. That's 2 confirmed town. I trust Bregor. Everyone's been super like kind of sucking Eric's dick.
And Peter's Vigi
Peter.
for sure.
And Peter's probably Vigi. No one
Well, he
counter-
is
no one counterclaims.
Vigi.
He has to be Vigi.
Tank, what do you think about, or what are your thoughts about Unctuous being fake cop and Ryan?
I don't think he's fake cop. I just think ZNF was a bad Lynch.
All right, so let's kill Alan. Let's go.
What if we sleep?
I gotta go to bed, bro.
What if we sleep? What if we sleep?
Then you're dead.
Then you're dead.
It depends.
He's not gonna die because he's fucking Mafia. He's like, you guys are like, oh my.
Yeah, what do we think? No, but I mean, to be 100% serious, like just because we have, just
let's sleep.
just because we know.
No, I'm not sleeping. That's not an option for me.
Okay.
I mean, technically, Ryan, Tank, and I mean, even Eric, they haven't been confirmed town. I mean, and along those lines, me and Alan haven't either. But I don't know. I don't think we should draw too long of a circle outside of Peter, Unctuous, Richard, and.
I think we stick with the confirmed. That's it.
Yeah.
The confirmed.
Peter, you okay with killing Alan?
I'm okay with killing Alan.
I am too.
Unctuous, Tank. We got 4. And Ryan's in 5. Eric's 6. All right, let's do this.
I don't really want to kill
I
Alan.
formal Alan.
I don't really want to kill Alan.
Formal and
Don't really
Alan.
want to kill Alan.
Especially you two guys should see that I am not like this when I'm Mafia. Like I don't
Like
have to do
that's
this shit.
the
Like, it's
thing that's fucking
obvious.
me right now. Okay, like the fact that like Alan wouldn't have made the move to come out against me if he was Mafia. Like he
I
just
don't give a
wouldn't
shit.
have. That's not an Alan
cop
thing.
as fuck. You're just trying to get me on your side. I'm not gonna follow that
I
shit.
don't give a fuck what side you're on, dude. Like I don't care what you're coming out. Like what matters is that you wouldn't have done that as Mafia. It like that is what's fucking me super hard right now. That's why I'm not comfortable voting Alan. I'm just not. It doesn't make sense.
Who are you gonna vote after him? We're not sleeping.
I think
You can't vote.
I voted after. Okay, ZNF didn't go through. I'm not comfortable voting Alan. I would rather vote. I want to say Eric.
No way.
No,
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Dude.
Tired of this game.
Alan, what did you just say?
Tired of this
Then
game.
why am I
Tired of
even
this game.
here? Like, what am I useful for? If you guys
I
don't
don't
agree
see
with anything,
To be
He's
honest
not
with you,
doing
I don't
anything
really
that
like your
fucking
checks.
makes any sense.
We could sleep twice.
All right, guys. There's a formal on
maybe.
Alan still, right?
Yes.
All right. We're voting on
Resend.
Alan, unless there's anything else to say. In 3, 2, 1, vote. 1, 2, 3.
Those late
Alan
votes, huh?
fails. Okay.
Let's sleep.
That was
Let's
the
sleep.
latest shit ever.
That was the weirdest. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That was the weirdest vote I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, Richard voted, and then Eric and Tank voted like a
Like
second
late,
after
super
that.
fucking late. Like that's not.
I
That's
was gonna vote for Alan no matter what. I don't know how you're gonna say it was
no.
late.
That was like that was the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. And Tank and Eric are 2 of the people that I haven't checked yet.
Okay. Do we have
And
any other
Ryan.
formals?
Do we sleep or do we take one of the? Yeah. Ryan's definitely one of the people that I haven't checked, but I trust Ryan more than I trust Eric anyway. Tank's up there on my trust
I
list.
still
Those
think
votes
Tank,
were
I still
kind
think
of
Tank
weird.
is dangerous.
Yeah,
I still don't
I'm
like
with
the way
Ryan on that one.
the way he was voting from round 1. I still think he's dangerous. I'm
All right,
following
let's-
you, Unctuous. I'm just letting you know what I think.
Okay. Either we're sleeping or we're killing Eric. What would you
We're
like
sleeping.
to do?
We're sleeping.
Someone call a vote on one of the two. Otherwise, I'm going to call a vote.
Unctuous, how do you even come out of this with your mouth? Like it doesn't even make any fucking sense. I've been playing Pro Town the entire game.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
Now
anything.
he doesn't make any
Because
sense. When I bring it
that
up,
doesn't
he
mean
makes
anything.
sense. This is fucking like
All right. Are we sleeping? Are we sleeping?
We're sleeping.
it's one of the people. Who said
Someone
it's
has
safe
to
for
say
sure.
the words,
Like,
I formal sleep. It's not that hard.
I'm formal sleeping.
I
Thank
almost
you.
sleep.
All right.
What the fuck
Voting
is
on
this?
sleep. In 3, 2, 1, vote. Okay.
What
Going
the
to sleep.
fuck?
Go to sleep.
Dumb. Stupidest fucking game.
Fuck! Thank you, Tim, for injecting humor into a situation. What's going on? Get my camera? What? Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. My bad.